I recently went to Scotland. Upon return, my golf clubs did not.
They did not.
My golf bag right now is a putter.
Yeah, so we kind of got to fill the rest of those 13 pieces.
Yeah, I'm in a bit of a pickle. So the tour of the stuff that we're trying to get in the bag. Got a Ping G410, Mizuno CLK, tricks on 3-iron, Mira baby blades, blueprints, my copper Mira MC501s, EC201s, Triple Diamond Sub-Zero Maverick, Ping G425. This is the Triple Diamond LS, G425 head. We'll hit some balls, we'll talk about shafts, what they do, and we'll just try and find gapping and see what fits. So, all right, let's do it.
And now we've got the fun stuff. So now we've got the driver.
Yep.
So again, this is where we just want it straight as long as it's gonna go.
So the Triple Diamond is the tour-inspired head, a little bit more fade biased, lower spinning.
Yeah, different onset. So it's definitely faces forwards. And I mean, so this is at, 10 degrees loft, 9.
This is 9.9 degrees of loft.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. So
Right, yeah, because
and-
they digitally check these.
Yeah,
which
and I
is
think
also cool.
the thing with you two, right, is like loft, what it looks like to you is very important.
I like to see loft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. So we know that we need to have a little bit of loft on these guys. All right.
Oh, shaft. I told everybody I was talking about it.
Yeah.
This is Oban Hashimoto Limited 05 Flex. So fairly tight.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
That's cool.
Let's see if it performs.
Yeah, nice and smooth feeling shaft. Still very stable, but doesn't feel like a 2x4.
Yep.
God, it's got a hell of a sound.
That's that sound. I don't think I caught that totally solid, but
Great result though. Yeah, a little lower on ball speed normally are. Like that was just touching 160, but for that number, you
got everything out of it.
Results. Yeah, seriously, like 145. That was good. 200 spin, launching at 12, which is great to see. I think I'm just gonna check the strike location on that one, Matt. I just want to make sure.
yeah, it felt like it might have even been a bit high on the face.
Yeah, so let me just see here. Yeah, so definitely just a touch high. So the reason I check that is because typically when you strike it a little bit high on the face, your launch goes up and your spin comes down. So you get great results. We know that that's fleeting, that's going to go away at some point, but we know that that was one that just happened. So let's see one or two more here. There's a necky one.
Yeah,
So
that's the
it
heel.
It was heel, yeah.
And the nice thing is it's cutting back, so it's not awful.
Yeah. No, and honestly, like, you know what's funny about that is right away you and I knew you hit that on the neck, 149 efficiency. So like, again,
Not a bad driver.
that's not a bad driver. And I don't know if, like Matt said earlier, if you can hear it over the mic. So
Oh, it sounds
it's
so
unbelievable.
gnarly.
It sounds like he's hitting a can.
Yeah.
So okay, well let's put that aside for now. I think
Not
that might be a
awful. I don't think
competitor.
it's an auto fire.
No, I think that's pretty decent. So what I want us to do here is we're gonna go to a ping driver. So we're gonna kind of switch it up. So I know we've got a couple of
Okay.
Bally drivers, a couple of ping drivers here.
So we're going more loft to less loft?
Yes, exactly. So we'll start with this guy here. Or move to this guy.
So this is the 10.5 LST.
It is with more hot melt than you can.
Yeah, a lot of hot melt. It is set at 10.5 flat setting.
Yeah.
I was playing with the torch and learned that it doesn't take long for it to bubble the paint.
Yeah. Don't
Whoops.
do that. Yeah.
Shaft. This is another Oban, yeah, you're right. Kyoshi high balance, so this is the counterbalance shaft. 05 flex again.
Yeah.
Very stable.
Yeah, no,
Smack
it's
it,
good. I
see?
mean, no, it's
I did for quite a while actually. I had some pretty good
You
results.
played great with this, yeah. And I think the thing is too is like there's probably the most variance in the way that these clubs feel out of all of them. So
Yeah.
we're gonna just see where we have that connection with right now with the way we're swinging it. That's really good. The launch was very good. Like to me, very, very good. We saw okay, so it peeled a little bit, so that's 70
Surprised that
meters
was-
curvature.
Yeah.
It was
That was
solid.
efficient.
Yeah, 149, 109 club head. Good path, face just a little bit more open. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, we did build that driver to do that. So
Oh yeah, this is a no hook driver for
yeah,
sure.
your strike location was quite good.
Pretty good.
So 80 feet of height, so nice and flat, even with 10.5 degrees of launch. So we know the spin was down. It's good. Let's see one more. Square this up for him. Okay, good. Start a little more left.
Mm-hmm.
Might not cut back. Oh, it is too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that was a
interesting,
bad one, but again, it's right of the line.
What's interesting to me though is you could not have hit that driver any more similar than you just hit that right now.
Okay.
We had your second one, you started left, it cut back the way it should. The other one was
And then a human.
significantly better though.
Okay.
Like if we look at that last one. So we'll move on for now, but
Yeah.
that was interesting because I'd still think, again, a driver you could play, but spin kicked up a little bit more, carry came down, you only carried that 250.
Yeah, definitely that was a miss. That's the one where you miss and you get away with it. And
And the launch comes way down and all those things, and then
you complain about it on the tee, and then your buddies go, "You're an idiot." That was still good.
So this is now 9-degree triple diamond LS from Callaway.
Yep.
And if you want to talk about the shaft here.
Shaft. This is a cool one. So this is Acura Tour Z RPG. This is Gary Woodland played this for a while.
Yeah,
I think he might put a new one out.
7 inches.
Tipped something crazy. So this one's M4 Plus, which is what they would call stiff plus.
Yeah.
This ain't no stiff plus.
No,
These are so stable.
Very, very tight.
Yeah, M5 Flex for me in this shaft is a bull.
Yeah,
Like, you're
it's
fast enough to hit it, I'm not.
Yeah, and I think like that's where we've got it. And the next one we're going to hit too is another Acura product, which is an M5. It's actually a shaft that I built for myself.
Yeah, I stole from you.
You commandeered. But yeah, I think that's where the nice thing about this shaft too, though, is it is very, very tight. And I think just going to M5 plus in this thing is a lot for you.
Oh, yeah.
At 110, which we know that you could swing a little faster. But anyways, but it doesn't feel crazy stout, right? Like I think that's one of the things. The materials they use, it's very good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like it's definitely tight, but it doesn't feel like some other shafts out there. So
So triple diamond LS, 9 degrees, added 1 degree of loft.
Okay.
So it's actually playing at 10, which will.
and it still doesn't look very open, right? Like
Oh, no.
I mean, or
No,
shut, sorry, it
because
still looks
it looks very
good.
open. Triple diamond head looks very, very open.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We can compare those numbers.
That one I thin necked,
Yeah,
kind of like my last shot.
Yeah.
However,
Decent.
it did take the same shape. It was a bad swing.
Yeah, honestly, same numbers as the last one though. 2,900 spin, 250 carry, 276. Yeah, I don't know about that. So
Okay.
let's just give us one more here.
Yeah.
Good, just a little pushy.
Yeah, it's wide open, but
that. Yeah. I mean,
Yeesh.
efficiency's good. I mean, I think that's where spin's good. The numbers are good. Just this is where it just doesn't look like there's as much of a connection. But give me one more just for fun here.
Sure.
Because you've been extremely consistent with what you've done. Your numbers are a fitter's dream right now. 109 every time. Tack angle's the same. Very good. Yeah, you covered that.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. It just
Okay, so this one's a little too wild.
yeah, I think so too. I
Okay.
think that's where, I mean, again, it's a good combo, and I think there's a time when this would work for you, but we know that right now you're swinging it well, and I think that's where we want you to get everything you can out of it. So,
Well, I need to find the golf course too, right?
well, for you, it's
10 yards doesn't help if I'm
no,
in the trees.
and we've talked about that a lot. It's like I think for anybody too is you got to hit the fairway, right? Or you got to be in the ballpark, right? And that allows you to kind of start to dial things in and then take advantage of your iron play and all those things, right? So,
Okay.
we're gonna try. So this is our last ping one here. So this is G425 90-degree LSD.
9 degree, there's a degree of loft added. It's in the flat setting.
Yeah.
Shaft, Acura TZ6.
Yeah. A little higher launch.
Yeah, so this one's counterbalanced.
It is.
It is M5, so this is X Flex, but significantly softer than the X Flex of the RPG.
Yeah. See, and I think that's where feel is a big part of it too, right? Because I feel like that one's softer, right? For me, right? The way that I load it, the way that I deliver it.
Which again, you can't get fit by paper. You have to try it.
Yeah, that's a great one, right? Like it's extremely important to try the thing and feel it, right? Because not everybody's going to get the same feeling and result. So, all right, let's go back to Bluey Magoo here.
Bluey Magoo.
Let's see it.
We call it Bluey Magoo because it's blue,
Yeah.
and because Magoo rhymes with blue. Write that down.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Let's see it. Oh, that's got that first sound too.
You may notice the sound.
Holy crap! Was that ever just a low bullet?
Okay, that came out head high.
I know.
Let's
For that ball speed and that efficiency, you got 0 carry on that.
Yeah.
That was,
Let's try that again. I actually thought it was a little better than that,
that's
but
this little Scotland burner there.
yeah, but this is the perfect driver for Scotland.
That's got a hell of a sound to it, man.
Oh yeah, I
It
know.
sounds phenomenal.
Sounds ridiculous.
It does. Turn heads with that thing. That's a little higher launch. But your ball speed is incredible.
So I kind of worked at getting that one up a
You tried to launch
little.
that, yeah. Ball speed it's definitely fast with this guy though. The carry only went up to about 10, right? So 260.
Okay.
300 total, but
So it's not carrying just because there's no spin, and like it's not staying in the
it's
air.
just coming out flat, yeah, like 8 degrees. The other ones you launched, like think about the Maverick you launched at like 11, 12, and there was one at 10 and a half. So
Okay.
just carry was jumped up a lot. I mean, you are swinging this fast, and the ball speed and efficiency is the fastest of the day, but just not getting as much out of it, right?
Okay.
Putting too much work into it to get not nearly as much. Okay, so let's see one more with this guy because it sounds unbelievable. Let's see if we can't kick that launch up just a little bit, give us a little more carry. Swing.
That felt as high as I can hit it.
Yeah, and it's still 8.
It's coming out low.
And you know
It's
what?
coming out hot, but low.
And you know what? The interesting part though is like, what did we just talk about a few minutes ago, right? Is 10 yards for you doesn't change your life. The carry is nice to have, right?
Yeah.
I think it's nice to get a little bit extra. I mean, right now with our fairways are pretty dry, so you are going to get that run out regardless. But there's going to be bunkers, there's going to be things you can't carry, right? So I'm just let me double back around. Let me have a look at the first Maverick that we tried because I think that was one. that
Yeah,
definitely
maybe
has
talk
some-
through it with everybody so they understand what we're looking at. And
for sure. And I think, I mean, like, there's an obvious ball speed discrepancy between these two, right? So 160 versus 164, right? 149 efficiency. We can see they all have the same shape. I know you can play golf like that, right? If I'm here,
all day. Yeah, that's
295 total. You're 296 with the Maverick, but the difference is launch, right? 10 and a half versus 8, right? And there's identical spin rates, 22 versus 23. You curve the Maverick a little less. You definitely hit this lower, the ping.
okay.
Right, so at 60 feet, this thing's coming out at 82, which is much better.
And lower. One of the things, lowers could be good if there's no trouble in your way.
That's the thing.
However, lower means that if you do miss hit one and you're trying to carry a bunker, got a
That's-
problem. You're
that's
trying to
the
carry
thing.
water. You're trying, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Lower eliminates a lot of those whoops misses and getting over those problems.
And I think there's a percentage of people too that see that flight who are guys that hit high and go, I would love that, right? I would trade that in a heartbeat. And I used to be that way. I'd go just get it on the ground, get it running, right? And I think now I've realized like, no, you know what? It's nicer to get a little bit more carry and total at the same distance.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not a spinning balloon.
That's the thing.
We're good.
And honestly, like, to me, that driver never looked like, both of these two drivers looked like they could never go left, which I think is a big important factor, right?
Because I can swing hard and not worry about a hook.
Yeah, this one, it definitely had more curvature to it. So that was 64 feet, which is 21 yards, 21 and a half yards. That's 16, right? So that's where, like, to me,
So that's the Mav we're talking
that's
about.
the Mav, yeah, that's the triple diamond. And I mean, it has a little bit more loft. Even though the ball speed's not crazy different, your mechanics are a little bit better. So it's a little bit more optimized. And I think this is where I would say too, is because you own these golf clubs, you take both of those to the range, you see what window trajectory.
Without all the geek tech that we have,
Yeah.
and just go play golf.
Because you know the numbers, you're totaling them same distance. So go figure out which one you feel more comfortable with and more confident. Obviously, we could sit here for another 25 minutes and hit balls like that and determine that.
Also tired.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is where, like, a lot of times with good players, I like to get them to do that because even for me, like, numbers can get pretty, like, you look at them pretty closely and then you forget that you got to play golf with this thing, right? So you got to go outside, you got to see how you set up with it. Does it feel more comfortable? Are you getting the results that you want when you step out on a golf course? And I think that's where we know the rest of this stuff is pretty obvious for the most part. Obviously, hybrid driving irons and stuff like that clearly perform the best, but I would like you to test those both, right? And just see what ends up giving you the best numbers. But
All right.
in here, it's Maverick triple diamond. But
We got a golf bag.
there you go. It's
I can go play golf again. I don't have to quit.
Exactly, and you know what? I mean, that's still a pretty darn good option. And
Yeah.
you hit those other clubs well too, but
I just want it to cut.
looks like you're gonna do okay.
The harder I hit it, the more cuts, that's fine.
That's great. So,
All right.
all right.
Looks like I can play golf again.